mean, it's a lot of fun to show people what an aircraft, you know, is not supposed to be able to do, but yet you can do it in the airplane.
The clouds provide a backdrop for the brilliance expected to come.
Well, I mean, as far as just to show that prestige for performers, everybody wants to fly aerospace because they only hire the top airshow acts.
He's a new breed of performers, thrilling people every time he flies. The man is Mark Pfeifler.
Rick White, my narrator and coach, we sit down before the season and we come up with the very best maneuvers that we've sort of gone through last year and that we've developed over the off season, and we put them all together in the most action-packed sequence that we can.
The machine is the Edge 540, a lightweight aircraft of vertical performance.
All right, have fun, buddy.
Okay.
And sheer thrill factor. Mark calls it rapid-fire aerobatics.
Again, I try and be right on the cutting edge, you know, sort of hardcore. You know, what I'm trying to do is make the aircraft seem like it's out of control, but when it's really in control. And that's a neat feeling to run it right on the edge like that. Hence the name, the Edge 540. I like to do a maneuver, never stop moving, so I like to not leave, you know, 2 or 3 seconds between maneuvers. I like to always be rolling the plane, always be moving the plane around the sky. To me, that's what I think is an exciting air show, where there's always action, there's always smoke going, there's always good noise, and there's always interesting maneuvers, maybe maneuvers that you don't see many people doing, or maneuvers that there's not many planes that can do.
But the rest of it looked real good. Yeah, real good, real good.
And while his head is in the clouds, his coach on the ground makes sure his flight is right on track.
Mark's a great entertainer with the airplane, does things that just not a handful of people in the United States can do with an airplane. Not will do, but can do with the airplane.
Mark's love for the high life began the first time he went to an air show. And while he's not here in the cockpit flying fast, Captain Mark Pfeifler is here in the cockpit flying the AWACS plane for the Air Force.
It's more, you know, sort of like an airline type job. You know, you're cruising from point A to point B. It's more instrument flying, more precision flying, and then, you know, I have a great life because I get to do that. I get to practice my instrument skills, that type of flying, and on the other hand, I get to fly the hardcore aerobatics.
And you can see all of Mark's fancy flying when he takes to the skies during Aerospace America. Robin Marsh, News 9.
Good evening to you. I'm Kelly Ogle.
I'm Robin Marsh, and you are in treat for an hour of action-packed excitement tonight.
No doubt about it. We're live out here at the C.E. Page Airport, just a little bit west of Yukon. It is home of the 1999 Aerospace America Air Show. Quite a show.
And for the next 3 days, the skies over the metro will be full of excitement. Oklahoma's Air Show is known around the world as a trendsetter. In 1990 and again in 1997, Aerospace America was named the #1 air show in North America. Familiar faces out at this year's air show. One you're going to recognize is Oklahoma City native Mark Pfeifler, and he is back with the Edge 540. Here's a look.
Mark Pfeifler's with me right now. I mean, does this guy look like a stunt pilot or what? I got to say, hey, how did you get started in this? How old were you when you decided, man, I want to fly one of these stunt planes?
Oh, let's see. I was probably about 25 years old, actually, when I started flying. So I'm sort of a late bloomer when it comes to flying.
Hometown boy, this is your plane. Let's take a look at it over here. You're about my height. What are you, 6'4"?
6'4", right.
How do you fold yourself into this thing?
Well, actually, the plane's all custom made. It's Zivco Aeronautics up in Guthrie made it for me. So it's built for a very large guy inside there. And the rudder pedals are up real far forward. The seats recline back almost like a 47-degree recline. So that's how I can fit in there. But actually, if you look at the canopy, you'll see a bunch of scratches where my head hits the top sometimes on some of the outside stuff.
Oh, that can't feel good. Hey, tell me about this. You ever get scared up there?
No, not really. Actually, you know, the maneuvers that we do in the show that you're seeing here have been practiced so many times up high. You know, during the show, what I try and do is create the illusion to thrill the crowd a little bit. But everything is perfectly safe. You know, it's maneuvers that we've done 1,000 times. They're predictable. We always give ourselves an out, and that's just where the showmanship comes involved. Is actually, you know, creating the illusion of making it a little thrilling for the crowd.
What is your favorite stunt? The one favorite thing that you'll do for the crowd this weekend?
My favorite one, probably a maneuver I came up with about 2 years ago called the Endo tumble. It's a tumble where I take the plane from a real slow airspeed and I just tumble it end over end perfectly 2 or 3 times. And there's only about, I sort of came up with this type of tumble, and everybody always asks me how I do it, and I tell them, well, just keep practicing. So.
I don't think you're supposed to do that with an airplane, Mark. Hey, we appreciate it. Congratulations to you as the Oklahoma Aviator of the Year. And we look forward to watching you perform this weekend. Thanks a lot.
Thanks
Mark Pfeifler, Robin, back to you. Does this guy look like a stunt pilot? Tonight, if you're hearing a rumbling in the skies over your home, chances are you're hearing the world's best pilots showing off their skills at the 14th Annual Aerospace America Airshow. This year, the show's at C.E. Page Airport. Tonight's show is just wrapping up, but all the oohs and ahs will be going on all weekend long.
Now, for 3 years, 3 years running, this show's been rated one of the best air shows in North America. And with the Pearl Harbor dogfight reenactments with bombs, the Red Baron Aerobats, and the Blue Angels, to name a few performers coming out here, who could argue with that? One pilot you will see is from right here in Oklahoma. He is the Aviator of the Year, and this guy, trust me, is one extreme aerobat.
My show, I like to call it more young man's aerobatics. It's more real extreme, so I'm on very much of the extreme end of the aerobatic scene, very hardcore, high G, low-level stuff. And then a lot of the stuff I do in my plane is such a high power-to-weight ratio that a lot of the stuff I do no other planes can do. So I kind of like to exploit that, do things in a plane that maybe people didn't think an aircraft was ever capable of doing.
And right now, we are just a little more than 24 hours away from the high-flying action of Aerospace America. Among the stunt performers here this weekend will be Oklahoma native Mark Pfeifler. He'll be zipping across metro skies, amazing the crowd in the Edge 540 aerobatic plane. This morning, a special treat. The pilot joins us from our newsroom. He's flown in. Good morning, Mark. Thanks for being here.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing so well. Thank you for asking. Tell us more about your plane.
Built in Guthrie, Oklahoma. It's about 330 horsepower, a monoplane like you saw in the picture there. It's very light, and it has a very high power-to-weight ratio, so that's what gives it the good performance. It rolls real quick, about 450 degrees a second, and in the show I try and exploit all the power of the plane with a lot of rolling and tumbling type maneuvers.
So what else will you be doing? Is that it, or is there anything else?
Well, a lot of the things we do in the show, we're sort of a real extreme act, so I try and fly, I like to call it rapid-fire aerobatics. It's very extreme, low-level aerobatics, sort of a young man's sport. A little bit more high performance than a lot of the acts that are out there today. We do the world's lowest upright flat spin. We'll spin the plane flat down to about 1,000 feet. That's traffic pattern altitude. We also start the show with a 3,000-foot inverted flat spin. That's pretty spectacular. And then, of course, we have a lot of our own unique type of tumbling, torquing maneuvers, sort of original maneuvers that we perfected.
Now, you're a local guy. You're from Oklahoma City.
That's right.
And your plane was also built around here,
That's
I
right,
understand.
built in Guthrie, Oklahoma, so it's great to fly for the hometown crowd.
Makes it a little bit more special.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. Your parents coming out to watch?
No, they're in Florida. They've never seen me fly, and my dad told me not to let my mom watch me fly. So.
Let's see it. Well, what should the audience specifically be watching for? What are you most proud of in your performance?
Well, we have a live narrator that flies with our show, too, so it's very, very high energy. He tries to get the crowd sort of whipped up behind the flight. So just watch the performance of the aircraft, the roll rate of the plane, compare it to the other types of planes, and you can see the real performance in our act.
All right, good luck.
Hey, thanks a lot.
Stay safe.
Okay.
That's pilot Mark Pfeifler. Thank you for being with us this morning. Now, before all...
News 9 and Blue Cross Blue Shield salute Oklahoma aerobatic champion Mark Pfeifler, demonstrating your incredible talents at this year's Aerospace America. You are the spirit of Oklahoma.
Actually, you can see Mark Pfeifler right now live on News 9. He joins us here. Mark, how'd your show go yesterday?
Very good, very good. The air was perfect. Weather was great. The crowd was great. We did a really good show. I think everybody was pretty pleased.
We talked a little bit about, Robin told us a little bit about your flat spin and the low altitude recovery, but you have another maneuver you want to talk about, the call 911?
Yeah, the call 911. My narrator likes to call it controlled madness. It's about a -6, 7 Gs continuous, and it's sort of like a Lumpshavak. Akin to a Lumpshavak, it's a tumbling maneuver, but it's controlled throughout the entire maneuver, and the crowd seemed to like that quite a bit. It looks pretty neat.
Tell me about the Endo.
And the Endo is a new maneuver we debuted here at Aerospace yesterday, and it's from a very slow airspeed, we tumble the plane end over end 2 or 3 times, and that gets a good crowd reaction also.
So not only are you a local here, stationed at Tinker Air Force Base, but your airplane is also local.
Yes, based at Wiley Post, Millionaires and Associated Aero, some of my big sponsors out there, and they help me out quite a bit, and we're always flying around this area, so it's really good to fly in front of the hometown crowd.
And one other thing, we talked a little bit about this on Thursday. This is the 50th anniversary of the Air Force, so that's got to mean something to you.
Oh yeah, that's awesome to fly in a show like that. You know, especially being here with Tinker here. All my friends are over here, and it's just a real honor to be able to fly here.
Does it make you nervous?
Not at all. I never get nervous.
Are you lying?
Never.
All righty. Well, listen, one other thing I should probably ask you. We've shown some video inside your cockpit. It's extremely demanding up there compared to what you do normally in the AWACS.
Yeah.
Or different kind of demand.
Well, it's a different kind of flying. You know, AWACS is more instrument type flying, precision flying. This is very precise flying also, but it's, you know, in AWACS you're just kind of sitting in the plane. This plane, you know, we'll do plus 12, minus 6, 7 Gs, so you have to be in pretty good shape to do that. You know, at the end of the show, it's a pretty good workout, so I get pretty tired.
All right, thanks for joining us. Have a great flight tomorrow and Sunday, and I know Oklahoma's going to be excited to see you.
All right, well,
thanks
I'm
for
excited
coming
to be
out.
here.
Okay, bye-bye, Mark. Mark, but the performers are already touching down here at Will Rogers Airport, and so I want you to hang on tight right now for a behind-the-scenes look at Aerospace America.
Among the aerobatic flyers that you'll see this weekend is a newcomer to Aerospace America, though he's certainly not new to Oklahoma City.
In fact, he flies over the city all the time, but well, for reasons that Robin Marsh is going to explain to us now, he has to save all the loops and rolls for the weekend.
And then, you know, I have a great life because I get to do that. I get to practice my instrument skills, that type of flying, and on the other hand, I get to fly the hardcore aerobatics.
And you can see all of Mark's fancy flying when he takes to the skies during Aerospace America. Robin Marsh, News 9.
Oh, I know. I'm loving it. I'm really excited to be here, and we're ready to put on an awesome show.
Is this kind of special for you, given that this is where you're based out of? It's a hometown show, and also it's the 50th anniversary of the Air Force?
I couldn't hear all of that, but yeah, I mean, I'm very excited to be here. I guess you're going to have to speak up. I can hear it.
Okay. It's kind of blowing out here. I guess we ought to be used to that at airports in Oklahoma. It's always windy at airports. Tell me a little bit about your show. What should people be watching for? You mentioned a couple of things in your package there. Tell us what the folks out there who are going to be watching. What do you want them to watch for?
Well, like I said, and like you heard in the interview, we like to call it rapid fire aerobatics. So I'm continually moving the airplane. The airplane rolls very fast. It has very high power to weight ratio. So and the engine is very strong. It tumbles very well. And so we like to sort of exploit that in the show. Lots of gyroscopic tumbling type of Lumpshavak maneuvers. Some of my favorite things we do in the show, we're the only guys doing both an upright and an inverted flat spin. And we start the show with the 3,000-foot inverted flat spin with the smoke on. And then later on in the show, we'll do a upright flat spin. We do the world's lowest upright flat spin. We'll start the recovery at 1,000 feet. That's pretty spectacular.
That's going to take their breath away. Now, you're local, and so is your airplane.
Pardon?
Your airplane was made in Guthrie, is that right, at Zivco?
Yes, ma'am. Up at Zivco Aeronautics in Guthrie, Oklahoma. It was custom built, and we've modified it quite a bit. We're running wingtip smoke this year. It has a lot of structural upgrades. It's very strong, plus and minus 17 Gs, so you know we have the utmost confidence in the plane that it can handle all the maneuvers.
That's a heck of a plane. Listen, Mark Pfeifler, good luck to you this week. I know Oklahomans are excited about seeing you, and we're glad to have you join us tonight.
All right, well, I'm psyched to be here. You need to tell everybody to come on out here and see the show. I think they'll like it.
We'll do it. Mark, thank you.
Mark Pfeiffer is one of a new breed of performers who will thrill you with his flying and charm you with his easygoing personality. Mark is an active U.S. Air Force pilot who has honed his aerobatic skills to a razor's edge, flying the appropriately named Edge 540, an aircraft of unmatched vertical performance, roll rate, and sheer thrill factor.
just an awesome airshow plane. It's just an incredible performer. It has real good vertical penetration, and it rolls very fast, so I try to exploit that in the show. Some of my favorite maneuvers, I do a upright flat spin, and I do a recovery down pretty low. I start the recovery about 1,100 feet. That's pretty spectacular. And probably one of the neatest things about the plane also is because of the high horsepower and light weight in its design, it tumbles really, really well. And so I try and do a lot of unique type of tumbling, torquing, gyroscopic maneuvers. A lot of things you won't see from other planes, I think. It's pretty neat. And so far, it's been the neatest plane that I've ever seen. It's a real performer and really, really fun plane to fly.
The rapid-fire aerobatics performance of Mark Pfeiffer consists of a blinding series of unlimited maneuvers flown in exacting sequences. Along with traditional airshow maneuvers, Mark flies a unique combination of gyroscopic tumbles, slides, flat spins, and snaps. With its 327 horsepower engine, the Edge 540 is capable of incredible roll rates and vertical penetration. Fly-off comparisons have shown the Edge to outclimb and outroll any other production aircraft to date. Blinding roll rates exceeding 450 degrees per second are attainable, and the aircraft is stressed to an incredible 17 Gs, both positive and negative. Mark likes to describe his routine as rapid-fire aerobatics. It's easy to see why. Pfeiffer Airshow's performance is not limited to the actual flight itself. Mark is always anxious to promote the airshow by making personal appearances or displaying the Edge 540 airplane.
I think one of the most important things for air shows is the public relations aspect, and that's what we try and do as much as we can. You know, we're available to go out and meet the crowd, go to schools, you know, basically whatever the show thinks that we can do to help them promote the show.
Mark Pfeiffer and the Edge 540, an unbeatable combination for air show action.
Hey, how are you doing? Are you having fun? All right. Get to see this guy fly?
You better say yes, Chris.
There you go. Thanks for coming. How are you doing? Are you going to be a pilot? Are you thinking about it? It's a lot of fun. Are you doing good in school? Cool. Got to get your grades, but it's a lot of fun. Do good, and then I'll come back and watch you fly. Hey, how's it going? Are you having fun? You're on TV right now. You know that? Look at that. You're famous. Are you going to be a pilot? Are you having fun? Yeah? Are you guys going to be pilots? Do you know that the best aerobatic pilot in the country was a gal, a girl? Patty Wagstead. 3 times she beat all the guys.
I'm not surprised. I think we could see that.
Yeah, they're neat. How do you think those rows well? Exactly. You start, but then after a while you get used to it. So, yeah. So, nice meeting you guys. Bye. Hey, how are you doing? What's your name?
Matthew.
Matthew? Are you having fun, Matthew? Oh, boy. What do you think of this air show stuff? Pretty neat, huh? Who's your favorite act so far? They haven't even flown yet. They're pretty neat.